Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, teammates. Today, I will be sharing with you how to fill out our quarterly assessments or table of specifications aligned with the revised Bloom's taxonomy and AMP learning goals. Okay, so at this point, let's consider that we have already accomplished our curriculum map. Particularly this part, learning competencies, assessments, and the number of items per assessment. Okay, so let's have first a short review about our quarterly assessments template. So first we have here the topic, and then objectives and learning competencies, the types of assessments, the number of items, table of specification, okay? Under revised Bloom's taxonomy, the remembering, understanding, analyzing, applying, evaluating, creating, and the percentage of items. Okay, as you notice, the objectives and learning competencies, the types of assessment, the number of items, even the AMT, the acquisition, meaning, making, and transfer, are already present in our curriculum map. So at this point, allow me to share my 5 steps to make a quarterly assessment or to fill out this particular template. Just 5 steps. Let's start. So number 1, copy the following from the curriculum map. So letter A, learning competencies, types of assessment, and number of items. Okay, so to do that, okay, let's assume these are our competencies under acquisition. These are the types of assessments that we use for acquisition competencies, and the number of items are here. Under meaning making, so this is our learning competency, and then type of assessment, problem solving, and the number of items, 30 points. And for transfer, of course, the performance task and the number of items, 50 points. Okay, so we are done with step number 1. Let's proceed to step number 2. And step number 2 is fill out the topic column. Okay, so how do we do that? These are the topic. These are the definitely that is based on the learning competencies. Let's consider this. So we have circles and related terms, problems related to circle, and equation of a circle. Under meaning making, what can you put here? There may be no topic specific for this. Okay, what you can do here is the EU and the EQ, your enduring understanding and essential question. Okay, so that will be part of your to be assessed in your meaning making part. And under transfer, you may actually put here your transfer goal. All right, so that is step number 2. How about the next? Number 3 is match the types of assessment to the table of specifications. How are we going to do that? Okay, for you to be to use as a guide, it is good or it is better for us to find the connections between the AMT learning goals and the Bloom's taxonomy. Remember, there are 3 learning goals, A, M, and T, and there are 6 Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so let's say A, acquisition. So note that acquisition is associated with remembering. Okay, while M is associated with understanding and analyzing, while T or transfer is associated with applying, evaluating, and creating. So if you know this connection, it will be easier for you to determine which among the table of specification, your specific assessment is associated. Okay? So mas madali natin. We know na lahat ng acquisition are objective type of test. And those are related to remembering. While meaning-making assessments, where students construct meaning, find connections, those are related to understanding and analyzing. While transfer assessment, where students are applying what they have learned, doing something, creating something, producing something, and that is related to applying, evaluating, and creating. Okay, so let's see. There are three types of assessments under acquisition: short response, matching type, and multiple choice. And as discussed with the connection, these are connected with remembering. So all number of items under acquisition part are here in remembering. While problem solving, which is 30 points, is divided into understanding and analyzing. So it's up to you how you construct the problem. If you think that the 30 item or 30 points problem solving is more on understanding than analyzing, then you may say this will be 20 and 10. If you think that it's more on analysis than understanding, then you may put here 10 and 20. But at least it should be balanced. Wag naman 30 and 0 or 1 and 29. Ano? Okay? Under transfer, similarly, okay? So, it is associated with applying, evaluating, and creating. Anyway, you cannot create something without applying something. And you cannot create if you cannot evaluate. But still, the highest is all about creating. Okay? So, that's why in our performance task, you may divide these points into this particular items in the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Let's proceed to step number 4. And for step number 4, we have here determine the total number of items from columns 4 to 10. Okay, so how are we going to do that? 4 items, fourth items starts here, number of items. So we have here 10 plus 20 plus 20 plus 30 and plus 50 is correct. It's 130. Under remembering, you have 10, 20, 20 will be 50. Understanding, just 15. Analyzing, 15. Applying is also 15. Evaluating is 15. And creating is 20. Okay, and we are done with step number 4. And finally, for step number 5 is actually fill out the percentage column. Okay, and how are we going to do that? Okay, simply lang. So, note that the number of items for each assessment and the total number of items to fill out this particular column under percentage of items. Okay, so that will be, if there are 10 items under short response, that will be 10 divided by 130, which is equal to 0.0769, or move the decimal point, and that will be 7.7%. For matching type, 20 divided by 130 is 15.4. Of course, this is also 20 items. That is also 15.4%. And 30 items divided by 130 is actually 23.1%. And using the same process, 50 divided by 130, you will get 38.5%. A total of 100%. Pero wag nyo nang i-add. Kasi pag in-add nyo yan, baka sobra or kulang yan ng konting decimal point kasi nag-round off tayo. Ano? So, okay lang yon, hindi na yun tinitingnan. Importante, i-round off nyo ng tama. Okay? So, with that, if you have questions, you may send me a message, okay, about your questions, about your clarifications, and if I have time, I will find time to answer your questions. Okay? So, at this point, again, I am Mr. Salazar, okay, of DSS Review Center. At kung nagustuhan mo uli ang video ito, ipasa mo. Huwag mong angkinin at sabay-sabay tayong maniwalang sa edukasyon. Ang Pilipinas ay makakabangon. Maniwala tayo. Okay? So muli, yung mga hindi pa nag-subscribe para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga video, subscribe now and hit the notification bell para lagi kayong nanonotify ng ating mga videos. Ay marami pa akong i-upload about curriculum and instruction, and I will also share with you some resources that I use for math students. Okay? So thank you and mabuhay tayong